Well, hello. It has been quite a while since I filmed a makeup tutorial. I am so happy to be back. I have been inspired lately, so I wanted to hop back on and redo my intro to Seint basic tutorial. And I'm also going to be sharing new releases with you guys that I'm excited about for Mother's Day that will be releasing on Thursday, April 30th. We've got new lip oils, which are gorgeous colors. There's two more. I only got these two. These are the ones that spoke to me right now. And I also am going to share new palette designs with you as well. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lisa. I'm an esthetician and a Seint artist affiliate. I'm going to be talking about Seint makeup today. And I recently gained several new customers, and I was thinking that I should update my intro to Seint makeup, like my first time Seint makeup tutorial. So that's what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to demonstrate how easy this makeup is, how pigmented this makeup is, and also how it is so amazing for mature skin because it is cream-based makeup and it leaves you glowy and supple. So as a sneak peek, this is one of the new palettes that we'll be releasing on Thursday, April 30th. And I'm going to show you the lip oils a little bit later when it comes time to do my lips. But I wanted to show you the basic 4 setup. Each of your shades are going to come in a tin, and all you have to do is just slide it open, and they're all magnetized, and you just slide it in your palette. So I left one of my spaces free here so you can see, and I'll explain what these shades are, and it just slips right in. Just like that. So these 4 shades make up your foundation. And the idea of Seint makeup is to have everything in one layer so you don't have this super cakey look of foundation, concealer, and then you put the blush and the bronzer and the contour and everything on top. This is designed to be put on all in one layer. So I am going to demonstrate this for you. So once you get your makeup, you'll know what to do. So as I said, this is the basic 4. But there are other sizes for the palettes, and they come in a palette 8, which I love this for my purse. And what this is, you get your 4, and then you have another tier where you could do 4 more. And this is nice and compact. And then you could go a little larger. This is, I have a bunch of sizes because I love the palettes, and they always change the designs. These are still available, these checkerboard ones in some of the sizes. So you'll check that out on the website. But this one, a little bit larger. On the second tier, you could put eyeshadow. So everything is completely customizable. This one is very popular. This is the size 12, and you can see it's pretty compact, but it's a little bit larger. And I have a whole bunch of eyeshadows here on the bottom, on the second tier. One of my favorite things is I don't have to go rummaging through a makeup bag, and everything is right here, and there's no opening and closing of bottles. It saves so much time. It's crazy how much time it saves. All of my information you will find below on my link tree. There is a tab for a free color match. So I will color match you to this makeup. You don't have to worry about that. Based on your skin tone, I'll be able to select the shades for you. And usually I start people off with 4, with your basic 4, and you decide if you want to do add-ons, because I'm going to show you the add-ons, but they are in my other palette. But for the most part, for people starting out, I always give you the basic 4, and then you decide if you want to add any products. I give you my advice, and then we go from there, and we could always talk and chat if you have any questions about anything. But what I'm going to do first is, I don't have this in my 4, I have this in my 12. This is a product that we have called The Balm, and it's incredible. Personally, as an esthetician, of course, I'm very much into skincare, and for the under eye area, especially because it starts to get a little bit more dry, a little bit more crepey as we get older, and putting something like this on, let me get my bangs out of the way so it's not flopping in my face. Putting a balm on before you lay your makeup down really makes a huge difference. And it kind of has the consistency of like Aquaphor. And I guess you could use Aquaphor, you could even use Vaseline. Marilyn Monroe famously used Vaseline as a makeup primer all over her face, actually. And there are some people that are still doing it to this day. And it works, especially if you've got maturing dry skin. But I just love the simplicity of having it in here. And again, like I said, they're all magnetized. So everything just, you could mix and match, Tetris them in here any way you want. eyeshadows as well. So pretty much I only put it around here, but in the winter time, sometimes I'll go around any dry areas of my face. And in terms of the way this makeup works, I love it because I usually am very prone to breakouts and acne if I use the wrong products. And I have to say with this, it's actually very healing whenever I have a blemish because this makeup acts as an occlusive and it doesn't sink too much into the pores. It actually lays on top, which is why you have that beautiful glowy finish. And you'll see what I mean as I'm going through this. So let's go back to the palette 4. Now we have several different designs of brushes. When you look at our website, it could be confusing because there's a lot of stuff going on there. So that's why I like the free color match. And I could advise you not only on your shades, but also what brush, depending on the finish that you want. And my absolute favorite brush is called the Detail Brush. And it is this one right here. So it kind of looks like a broom. And then you have the smaller end. All of our brushes are double-ended. And this one I love because you could customize your finish from sheer to full coverage. And you also have like the tiny brush, you know, to get into the little nooks and crannies. Contouring is also really easy with this. So let me get started before I start blabbing too much, which I tend to do. Okay, so you are going to have main foundation shade, a highlight brightening shade. This is the contour, and this is a lip and cheek. So as the name suggests, you could use it as a lipstick and blush cheek. This is a shade called Nude, which is one of my all-time favorites. And I suggest this for because it works with a lot of skin tones. It's more on the neutral side. But anyway, this is the basic tutorial. So like I said, these three are all the same type of foundational coverage. And I am going to start with the contour first and put it around the areas that we would normally have shadow. Now this shade is called Ash. Again, I would match you based on your skin tone because everybody has a different skin tone. But I love this one for more fair skin tones because it kind of has a bit of a cool undertone. So you could use it more like a bronzer. And you see, I don't put it all the way down here, like in the hollows of my cheeks. I want it a little bit above. So there will be some definition into my cheekbones, but I don't want my face to be dragged down. So right now, I'm not blending it yet. I'm just placing it where I need it to go. And that's it. So I'm going to put that there, like so. And like I said, most of the time, I don't even use a bronzer because I love the shade of this one so much. And then on the forehead, I just go right above and just kind of gives a little bit of color. Some people, they like to do shadowing in order to shape their face, but I do it mostly like a bronzing thing. You can see the difference. You can see like the color starting to come into the face. And like I said, this is all foundational coverage, so I don't have to put my light foundation there because this is going to take care of that. If you had any blemishes or hyperpigmentation, this makeup also really helps with that as well. And just kind of marry that together. And what I really like to do is my jawline. And that's where this brush really comes in handy. So you just go into the edge. And one caveat I have to mention, you never want to pick up too much product with your brush by pressing too hard into the tins. These may look small, but they're tiny but mighty. They're very pigmented. You saw like I barely tap into this and how much product is on my skin. So you literally just tap a couple of times and you'll get the pigment. So here is the jawline. And then I also like to do, you know, the double chin area thing here, like so. I hope the lighting is okay. It's toward the end, it's about to, the sun is about to set. So I hope the lighting isn't too weird. I tried to get it like as natural as possible. But anyway, okay, so here we go. So right now it's looking kind of crazy, but this is one of those things where it's like, trust the process. Also, I have a little washcloth here. What's great about these brushes and the nature of the makeup, because it floats on the top of the bristles, once you get it on your skin, you can go into another color and it's not a muddy mess. You would think it would be a muddy mess, but it's not a muddy mess. But still, because of my OCD or what have you, I have a little washcloth here and I just wipe any excess that might come off, and really not much comes off at all. Okay. Going back into the tints. So here is my main foundation shade, and I'm just going to tap And now I am going to deposit that on my skin around where I put my contour. And I concentrate most of the product where there isn't any like fine lines or wrinkles, not too much crepiness going on. So right here on my jawline, it's more smooth. And then any trace amounts I'll put around my mouth, my lips, around the nose. And everybody is different depending on where they need their coverage, right? Any trace elements will just kind of come up here and just start to smooth that out. All right. And now I'm just going to blend in my contour. So it looks like a neutral bronzer, which I love. We do have bronzers. We have 4 different shades depending on the skin tone that you have. But sometimes you could get away with just using this. And for the purposes of this tutorial today, I am just going to use this contour as the basic 4. Okay, now when I get to my under eyes with this small one, I could go right in, lightly tap, and I am going to go here, you see, very little. I don't want to bog down too much material because I don't want any cakiness, but if you could see the glow that stays on the skin. And then for my eyelids, you could use this as an eyelid primer, although you don't want to put too much. So I usually start up by the brow bone here and then feather down whatever is left. And it just kind of, this is like very bare bones tutorial, basic setup, like very quickly out the door in the morning. This is what I do. And then I'm ready to put eyeshadow on top. And then I don't have any creasing because I don't put anything on the mobile lid, like packing on like all of this cream stuff. Now I did wanted to show you that we also have demi correctors, which is what they were called, demi correctors, but now they just call them cream correctors. And these are a light veil of pigment that actually works with color theory. So again, I would need to see your skin tone, your natural skin tone, and I would be able to determine, depending on the darkness or hyperpigmentation or dark under eye circles, what you would need to correct. We also just got these new palettes too, these doubles. These, you could put these demi tins, you could do 2 eyeshadows, you could put one of these tins, like a single, if you wanted to throw it in your purse, if you have a shade, like a lip and cheek shade. We also have the balm. We have a salve. We have a whole bunch of stuff now. They're expanding the line, which I'm super excited about. And I do love all the products. But anyway, back to the demi. So that's what this is. And I'll show you really quickly how to use this, because sometimes I use it with this big old brush, but it is designed to be used with, let me see if I could find it. Here it is. With these demi brushes is what they were called. I don't know if they still call them demi brushes, but they were called demi correctors. Now I think they just call them cream correctors. And this is the Bright brush, double-ended again. And you can see like how small it is. We have different shapes and sizes, and depending on what you need to achieve, that is how I'm going to determine what brush I'm going to recommend for you. Now, look, I'm going to make sure that I blend this a little bit more. It's looking a little bit stark. This is one of the things that I always have to remember to blend it right away, or else you'll leave the house with like this stark line here. Okay, but you can see it makes a difference. It kind of chisels out like the jawline, especially if you're starting to get like these little jowls over here, so it helps. A lot of people, they'll do their nose. I'm not very good at doing my nose, and I'm still practicing that, but this brush, I've seen other people do tutorials where they line up the brush and you see how like it's nice and straight, and they're able to do that, or they use this side. I really love this brush, but there's another one that I'll show you that I also love, but this one is the one that I've been recommending first for first timers. Okay, so back to the Bright brush. What's really nice about this, and again, same exact thing. You see how you just tap and look at all the makeup that's on here already. So what you do with this, it's more of like a sweeping motion and a color correction. I'm hoping that you'll be able to see this in real time as I'm doing it here, because you see I have this like blue, and this corrector is orange level 3, so O3. But you see how that like brightened it up without looking super cakey? So depending on what you need, I may recommend this for you. And it really does not take long to get the hang of it. So you could do this for your under eyes instead of using the brightening. You could also use the fluffy side, or not the brightening shade, or your foundation shade rather, in here instead of using this. So you have options. And brighten the outer corner. And even on the lid, again, I will start up by the brow bone, and then any trace material I'll bring down. But you'll see like how it brightens up, and it doesn't look cakey at all. It doesn't look like I have like 10 layers of makeup on, which is my favorite. Okay, now that is the basic. And then you have your lip and cheek, which is on here. And you can also use this brush. I would be careful with using this brush because it could go pretty pigmented. So I'm saying like the littlest tap in here. And again, this is the shade Nude. Let's make sure I'm not getting too gentle. Okay. There. You see the color coming up? This is one of my favorites. And you could go a little bit deeper. But this detail brush is my favorite because of how much you could shear it out and make it like very, very sheer-like coverage, or build it up and pack it on for more full coverage. And go around the bridge of my nose a little bit. That's that. Now for extras on, or in my 12 palette, you saw that I had the balm. This is the bronzer, but I won't use it today. I'm just going to keep it like very fresh. But the highlighters I really like. We call these Illuminators, and we have different shades. And again, I could suggest one of them for you depending on what you're looking for, because this one has a little bit more of a pinky tone. This one is almost like a, oh no, it's this one right here. It's almost like a goldy bronze. Sometimes I mix them all together. That's what's really fun about having everything. It's like an artist palette, literally. And you go and you dip, and you could like mix colors. You could mix lip and cheeks. So much fun. And it looks amazing, like the glow on the skin. So let me see. Let me do, because you could put this on with your finger too, but a lot of times I like to use my brush. If you could see, there's a little bit of glow. These aren't crazy glittery. They just impart a little bit of a sheen to the skin. And I'm hoping that you could see that. I'm using the one that's a little bit more of a pinky tone. And it doesn't accentuate fine lines either because of that, because of how soft it is. And then you could go back and add a little bit more color if you want. I want a little bit more punch with my blush. So you don't have to worry about whether you have powder or not. We do also have powder. We do have a setting powder. Even oily skin can wear this makeup. I have friends with oily skin that do, and they'll just use a proper setting spray and powder. And that really, really helps. And their skin still looks very dewy. So there we go. That's it. That is the basic tutorial of how to put on your basic 4 shades. Okay, now on to the Mother's Day releases. I am super excited. I only got a couple of lip oils because they just launched pigmented lip oils. We had lip oils before that were clear, like more sheer. This one was from the holiday. It's called Salted Caramel, and it's like a little bit goldy. And this one smells so good. It does have a scent. This one is Salted Caramel. Oh, it smells like the holidays. This one is Marshmallow, and it's just clear. And I'll show you just putting it on. It has a little bit of iridescence to it, and they feel so good. But now they have these pigmented ones, and these are replicas, or not replicas, they're lip oil form of famous lip and cheeks that we have. So one of them is Nude, and you saw how much I love Nude, and this one is Black Cherry, which is one of my all-time favorite lip and cheeks as well. But now it's in a lip oil. Now let me show you swatches, like close-up swatches. Let me see if I could do that. Yeah, here's Black Cherry. So pretty. And I'll try these on as well. And Nude. And I was afraid that Nude might be a little bit too peachy for my skin tone, but it actually is more sheer, and I love it. I love the way it feels. These are not scented either. So if scents bother you, they didn't add scents to these. But what I do like is if you want a little something something from like marshmallow or whatever other scents that we have in the lip oils, you could mix them together. So that is marshmallow, what I have on. I think I'm just going to dab some of it off just so you can see the black cherry a little bit more properly. Okay, so here's black cherry. They feel so nice. And pigmented, but not too much. I love it. My favorite is a very sheer lip, a blotted lip. So these are totally up my alley. And now for nude. So let's see what it looks like on camera, because I tried this on the other day. Okay. I think a lot of people are going to like this one because it's so neutral. Yeah. Because sometimes I feel like if something is too peach, it clashes with my skin tone. And I don't think this one's too bad. So especially in the summer, this is going to be really nice. Now, I wonder what will happen if I layer them. Let's see if it makes it a little bit more pinky. Oops. Okay. Kind of makes it more like a soft rose. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, it makes it kind of like a dark rose color. So it's really easy. So fun to mix and match. You could also throw these on top of a lip and cheek, which is the tin, because these are way more pigmented depending. We all have different finishes. This one, the nude, is a satin. So it gives you a little bit more pigment, and you could mix it with the lip oils as well. Now, in terms of brushes, we have another one that is one of my favorites is the blush and bronzer brush. And you could use this. Look, it's very fluffy and it's double-ended. You could even use this as a foundation brush. And this one, I find it to be more like sheer to medium coverage. That's what this is really good for. And this is a great brush to have in your collection as well. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you is eyeshadow. So this is a palette 18. This is one of my favorites, one of my favorite patterns as well. And I have a bunch of eyeshadows down here. And I sometimes just use one shadow and like a neutral shade, like this one here is Pup. And it seems pretty light, but it does give a little something something on the eyelids, and it is very, very simple. So this is a smudge brush, and this is my favorite eyeshadow brush to use, actually. I just find it really concentrates the color, and you could place it wherever you need it. And it just makes the process like so easy. You see how neutral that is? Now you could do like a full-on eye look, but sometimes, especially for a work day, this is all I do. And this also keeps any creasing from happening from the cream that I laid down before to cover any discoloration on my eyelids. So you see how smooth that looks now. This side is the demi, and this side is just the regular highlight 3D foundation is what we call it, like 3-dimensional, which is why you put each one on in certain places, and it's your foundational coverage, but it's different colors, so you don't look flat. You actually look like you have dimension and shape to your face. So this side, I have my main highlight. And then here on this side, I have the demi. And that's it. You could even go like under the eye if you want. Now, another thing because I also suggest a brightening shade for you guys. So you have your main shade, brightening shade. And what's really nice about this is with the small end of the brush, you could highlight different areas of your face. Like if you want to brighten here in the middle of your forehead, down the nose for the people that contour, Cupid's bow. You know, that's really nice too. Like so. And you could even do like kind of an eye lift. Like you see like where I had the eyeshadow. You see how pigmented it is. So So you could tap it out with your finger if you went a little too overboard. So it's very forgiving. Cream makeup is so forgiving, and it does stay, especially with use a setting spray. And you could use powder as well. Like I said, we do have a couple of different powders that work really well, but you can clean up your eyeshadow and then just kind of give like a little bit of an eye lift like that with the brightening shade as well. You could even do it with your regular foundation shade, with the one that matches your skin that you put on as your main shade. But yeah, that's what's so nice about this. It's so versatile. And you could do so much with it. You could even use the contour as a crease shade as well. Like if you put it on your brow bone, also the same technique that I did with the foundation shade, so you don't have any creasing, but you get the tint. And it could be like a cream shadow. Okay, so that is it. I hope that that was helpful. I am going to be sending this to my new customers that just purchased their makeup, and I'm hoping that this gets there in time before they open their boxes. And thank you so much, you guys, for trusting me with your face and for choosing your shades. I can't wait to hear how everything works out and how you like the makeup. And for anybody that's new here, all of my information is down below. My link tree, like I said, and you will find the color match form, and it is a free color match. And all I need from you, it'll all say it in the directions. I just need a makeup free selfie of you. And what you're going to do is stand in front of an open window, like open the shades so natural light comes in. Not too sunny, just natural light, and step a few feet back away from the window, but make sure you're facing the window. And that's when you take your selfie. Make sure there's no lights on inside your house, no artificial lights. The natural light hitting your skin is how I am going to be able to see your true skin tone and what other imperfections that you have that you want to correct, and then I'll be able to suggest shades and colors accordingly. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, there is also going to be a sale on eyeshadow brushes, and they're going to be 25% off. That's part of the Mother's Day sale. And there's certain eyeshadow bundles that they're putting, they're not new shades of eyeshadows, but they're bundles that are discounted that they put together. And there are 4 different ones, and I am going to put some slides in here so you could see very quickly the bundles, the lip oils, the palette designs, all of that stuff. And you could get a closer look on my website in the links below, and you'll be able to see everything on Thursday, April 30th. Okay, so that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad to be back. I have been crazy busy, like over the last couple of years, really, but definitely over the last year. So I haven't been uploading as much as I used to, but I'm hoping that I'm going to start doing it a little bit more often, because I really do like doing this, and I love helping you guys with your makeup and your skincare. So I am planning on being back more often. So let me know what you think about the new releases in the comments, and I will see you all soon.